What if the version of you that already has everything that you want exists? Because it does. And the only reason why you're still not that person yet is because you're still trying to survive by staying small and performing your life for validation. And that is exactly why you're not where you want to be. This video found you on purpose. This is not a coincidence. You're not here just to change a few things and get a new morning routine. You're here to go completely monk mode and become unrecognizable. And I know this because I'm filming from a literal cave in Milos, Greece. And I had to go monk mode myself to be in silence and gather my thoughts. And I can hear my thoughts so loud in here so that I can gather my notes and think about my own rebrand so that I can also help you rewire your brain and get a fresh start. I am not talking about a glow up moment. This is a full spiritual detonation and a complete rebirth. And I'm going to help you achieve the next level of your identity. And at the end of this, once you get out of your metaphorical cave, you are going to shock everyone, but not because you want to, but because you're simply unrecognizable. I have to warn you though, once you become this next level version of you, there is no going back. You simply cannot afford to live in contradiction with the life that you say you want, but you don't go after it. You say you want to do something about it, but then you're on the couch and you're scrolling or you're bed rotting. To me, that is the greatest form of self-inflicted suffering. So think about what you really want and then really go for it. But first, you're going to go quiet for a bit and gather your own thoughts. Stop oversharing everything with everyone, because you have to understand that not everyone has the range to understand you, and you're going to grow in silence and block out the noise and become so still and so focused that your energy will shift without you ever saying a word. That's when people will notice, and that's when your energy becomes the noise. And if you're new here to my channel, my name is May, and I make videos like these every week. I talk about self-improvement, glow-ups, leveling up, and actually creating the life that you want. Because to me, I've already done that, and I want the same for you. So if you want to stay focused, keep my videos around you as a reminder, and subscribe to my channel if you find this helpful, because you're not alone in this. There's over 400,000 of us. Before we go deeper, I want to thank my sponsor, Yepoda. You know, I don't usually recommend skincare routines unless it actually works, and this routine of mine changed my skin texture. Look at my skin, it's literally made of glass. And this is because I've been double cleansing every night, especially with a full face of makeup, and this is non-negotiable. And I start with using the Calm Balm, and it's this buttery oil cleanser that just melts off makeup, sunscreen, grime, stress, everything. You don't have to rub hard or anything. All you have to do is to gently glide it on, and it feels so nice and smooth. And it's just like the feeling of massaging your nervous system. And then I follow up with the Bubble Double, which is a pomegranate-based foaming cleanser that I use to clean my skin. It's very gentle, but also takes off whatever that's left, including the Calm Balm, without stripping your skin. You don't feel any tightness or dryness from it, just clean, soft, and happy skin. After that, I spray down my face with the mist half. As you can see, I love it so much, I'm about to run out. The main ingredient is hyaluronic acid, which is super moisturizing. Then I follow up with the Repair Hero Serum, which is probiotic based, as well as my Midnight Magic Cream, which is Cica lavender based. And Cica asiatica is my absolute favorite skincare ingredient ever. That is literally it. This is my glow up routine, and I have not had a breakout in months. My skin feels so much less reactive, and I have a much stronger skin barrier. My skin texture is so smooth and so glassy. So if your skin is feeling off, or you feel like you need a reset, this is your sign to get a barrier strengthening skincare routine. If you're curious about Yepoda, you can click the link in my description to check it out. And thank you again to Yepoda for partnering with me. Okay, so let's get back to your rebrand. And let me be really honest with you, these routines are here because it's simply a part of who you are. Routines can help you build identity, but it can't create your identity for you. The real shift happens internally, so you need to start by forming your own identity first. You literally need to know who you are currently in order to become a new version of yourself, and this is much bigger than just being productive and motivated. This is about rewiring your self-concept, not to become someone else or that girl or that person, but to finally become you, 100% you. So if you're new to human design, it's a self-discovery framework that helps you understand your energy type, and it also tells you how you best move through life. And according to my human design, I'm a projector. Literally, that means the seer. And yeah, to me, it kind of makes sense because projectors are wired to spot better and more aligned ways of doing things and to guide other people to them. My strongest gift is gift number 52, which is strength in stillness, which is exactly why I built my entire life values on the principles of Stoicism, which is an ancient Greek philosophy that teaches emotional regulation, discipline, and the power of focusing only on what's within your control. So how fitting is it that I am in an old cave in Greece telling you about all of this? Having inner peace and stillness is the greatest power move that you can make. ever. You are never going to be desperate for anything again because you are literally a monk. And let me just say this, when you choose yourself and really choose yourself, you're going to shake up your whole life. You're going to lose patterns. You're going to lose people, losing things, letting go of things that felt safe to you but were never good for you. And that's okay because you're not going to dim your light or be comfortable anymore. You're going to leave your comfort zone and evolve. You're going to protect your energy and build a boundary around your peace, like your life depends on it, because it does. And then yeah, as a result, people are going to look at you and say, you've changed. Yeah, of course, because you're done being someone's emotional support person. You're not here to make everyone around you comfortable. You're here to make yourself proud. And the transformation starts from the inside. In psychology, in spirituality, we call this your self-concept, which is what you are, who you are, the beliefs that you hold about yourself, and what you think you're capable of. And here's the thing, right? Your entire life and how far you think you can go is just simply a reflection of your self-concept. There's a book called Psycho-Cybernetics that explains that your brain operates like a goal-seeking mechanism. You move through the world not through your brains, not through logic, but based on your internal identity map. And in the book Atomic Habits, James Clear says that every action that you take is a vote for who you believe you are. So this isn't just about willpower, because when your identity is locked in, your routines and your habits, they just come naturally to you. So if you want to become consistent, become someone who doesn't abandon a task. If you want to become confident, become someone who doesn't go against your word and you don't betray yourself. And if you want to become successful, then you see yourself as worthy of success. So from here on out, it's not about what you should do, it's about who you're becoming as a person. And you're not going to be tackling this from a place of desperation and need. You're going to be tackling this from a place of embodiment and desire to become. You have to become the proof and stop waiting around. And you're not going to shrink yourself either. You're going to create space for yourself so that you can make more room to attract everything that you want by becoming magnetic. And the reason why I am in Greece right now is because I was hosting a group trip for my YouTube community, and it was a group trip that was centered around self-improvement. We were out here journaling, painting, creating space, getting in touch with ourselves, and thinking about what it means to reset. It was such a magical and transformational experience for all of us that I'm planning to do this every year. So if you want to join us in 2026, I'm thinking about having one retreat that's fully wellness focused and another one that's about finding balance. So check out the link in my description or visit my website if you want to learn more and you're interested in signing up. So now let's talk about discipline. And if you're familiar with my productivity videos, you already know how I feel about discipline. Discipline has nothing to do with your motivation. This is simply a byproduct of who you are. And most people will think, well, if I have more motivation, I'll be more consistent in my lifestyle. But motivation is a mood, and a lot of us have mood swings. Whereas discipline is a self-concept. When you can fully identify as someone who follows through with what they say that they can do, then you're keeping your word to yourself. Then consistency becomes automatic to you. You don't even have to try at anything. You don't put things off until tomorrow. You just simply are that person. And honestly, I experienced this firsthand so deeply because the day after my group trip ended in the island of Crete, I traveled to another Greek island called Ios, and I completely fell in love with the place that I was staying at, like instantly. The energy, the views, which was amazing, the layout of it, the exotic landscaping, it just hit me like a truck. And I was thinking to myself, this is going to be the next retreat location. It has to be. And I didn't sit around and make some checklist. My brain literally snapped into alignment and I imagined the entire thing, the intention of it, the itinerary, the transformations. And immediately 1 minute later, I went up to the owners of the property, and this is a small, tiny 10-room boutique hotel. And I had to convince them to do a full buyout for a week because I already saw the retreat in my mind's eye and it was so real to me. And they're like, okay, fine, you can do it in July or August of next year because that's when our regulars aren't here. But anyway, this example is not just about motivation or discipline. This is just simply the embodiment of who I am as a person. That's just how my mind works, and that's how yours will start working too if you want to believe that you can be that person. And discipline is just an example. You can literally be whoever you want. And once you can shift your self-concept to believe that you are a disciplined person, you are. And here's the psychology behind it. According to a study called Self-Perception by Daryl Bam in 1972, we begin to believe that we are what we consistently do. So if you start showing up like someone who follows through, your identity will catch on faster than you think. So now let's talk about why people struggle with this. And it has everything to do with dopamine. Your brain is just hijacked by constant overstimulation of doom scrolling and binging and hopping from app to app. But it's not because your brain's reward system is broken. Like if you keep doing all these things over time, you're going to lose motivation for anything that doesn't give you an instant dopamine spike. This is why working out is hard. This is why journaling is hard. And this is why you can't achieve anything that you set out to do, because it's too hard. But once you step away from that cycle and go monk mode and reset, you don't even have to go into a literal cave like me to do that. You just have to decide to simply subtract the noise. That's when you can get a baseline reset and you start craving depth again, and things that normally seem boring to you is not that boring anymore. Dopamine isn't just about seeking pleasure, because that's just called hedonism, but rather dopamine is about the pursuit. So if you're constantly going after tiny, cheap rewards, you're cheapening yourself and you're training your brain not to pursue bigger things that are actually meaningful to you. You have to retrain your system. So the best way to do that is to replace dopamine loops and replace motivation and replace discipline with flow. And there's a book called In Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience, which describes the flow state as full absorption. You are just fully present in this moment. You're locked in and you're doing something so engaging and aligned with you that you lose track of time. You're learning, you're creating, you're building, and that is when you're actually feeling alive. It's in the process of doing something. And when you're in the flow state, your brain stops craving distractions because you're constantly feeding yourself sustenance. So it's not about constantly being booked and busy, because you're going to burn out. It's about being in flow and being so deeply immersed in something that you're so preoccupied with. And this is what's going to make you proud to be who you are as a person when you're creating, when you're nurturing your goals, and that you're spending time crafting this new version of yourself. So if you want to start building momentum towards something, you need to start tracking it. I do this thing that's super easy. It only takes 1 minute a day, and this is going to build new pathways for your brain over time, and you're going to be building momentum, and by the end of this, you're going to be creating a new identity for yourself. I guarantee it. It's super easy. I just keep a journal with me, and this can even be a digital journal if you want. This is where you mark your habits, green or red, or for me, it's a check mark or a cross, where check mark or green is for progress and the cross or red is for sabotage. It's a very simple scan at the end of the day, like, okay, I did my skincare routine today, I did not drink enough water today, I was rude to someone today, and this is just data, so don't feel guilty about this. You're simply just tracking where you're at and to remember what you've done for the day, and this builds neuroplasticity and self-awareness. If you're doing this through a bullet list, this is called bullet journaling, and this rewires your brain. There are Harvard and UCLA studies that show that self-reflection strengthens your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain that's responsible for decision making, as well as focus and long-term planning. And here's the secret that nobody ever tells you, except for me, of course. Rebranding your identity is not actually going to feel that dramatic while it's happening. It doesn't feel like fireworks. Rather, it's more like water dripping on stone. It's very natural and very flow-like, and you're going to think thoughts like, I drank water before I drank coffee, or I didn't scroll on my phone the first thing in the morning. Wow, okay. Or things like, I kept that promise to myself. I did what I said I was going to do. And that is exactly how you track progress. And it's very cute and quiet, one step at a time. And then one day you're going to wake up and look at yourself and you're going to realize, wow, I am a completely new person. And that is just all facts and neuroscience. If you made it to this point, pause real quick and take a deep breath. Because you're not who you were at the beginning of this video. You just made a choice and you just voted for that version of yourself who's ready to make that shift. And I want you to celebrate yourself. Not for being perfect, but for being present. And you should acknowledge that. That is already success. And I also want you to celebrate everyone else who's on the same boat as you. So drop a comment right now or just say it out loud or in your head and affirm with me, I am becoming someone that I'm proud of. Psychology calls this affirmation priming. When you speak your identity shift out loud, and especially in public, it actually deepens your embodiment and it works. So go ahead and say it and mean it. And then I want you to get off of YouTube, go monk mode, and become the version of yourself who doesn't break your own promises. I know you got this. Subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I will see you in the next video.